The strategic aspect rules. Basics. Every cyclist will begin the game on space 0 with 30 steps. This game is played in rounds. A round is also known as a cycle. There are 30 spaces in each cycle. Steps are the currency cyclists play with in the game. However many steps a cyclist earns or spends is dependent on how many spaces they take each turn. When taking a turn, there are 6 moves to choose from. They can move 1 space and earn 1 step. They can move 2 spaces and earn 2 steps. They can move 3 spaces and earn 3 steps. They can move 4 spaces and spend 1 step. They can move 5 spaces and spend 3 steps. They can move 6 spaces and spend 6 steps. Note that cyclists are not allowed to drop below 0 steps and go into the negative numbers unless they are competing in the safety auction. Turn order. To determine the turn order, a list will be randomized consisting of every cyclist in the game. Whatever the list comes out to be, that will be the order of the cyclists going in that turn order. Once all the cyclists have taken a turn, a new turn order will be randomized. And once all the cyclists have taken their turn then, another turn order will be randomized. This will keep going until 2 cyclists reach space 30. Each cyclist will not know the order they are going in until their turn is revealed. Safety auction. The first 2 to reach space 30 will participate in the safety auction. Each of the 2 cyclists will write down how many steps they are willing to give, up from 0 to 20 in private. They will then reveal their bids simultaneously. The one who gives up more steps will win safety. However, both will lose the number of steps they each wrote down. If both tie with 0 steps, safety is automatically destroyed. If both tie with 1 to 19 steps, a rebid will take place with the steps that were not taken in the previous bid. So, if both tie with 15 steps, both will lose 15 steps. Afterward, a rebid will take place from 0 to 5. The one who writes down more steps then will win safety. However, if both tie in a rebid, safety is automatically destroyed. Again, both will lose the number of steps they each wrote down. If both tie with 20 steps, their names will be put into a list randomizer. Whoever appears at the top of the list will win safety and will not lose any steps. The loser will lose 40 steps. When bidding, cyclists can drop below 0 steps and go into the negative numbers. Safety options. The winner of safety will have the option of keeping it, destroying it, or giving it to someone else for the cycle. By keeping it, they cannot vote at the elimination ceremony, but they will be safe. By destroying it, they can vote at the elimination ceremony, but they will not be safe. If the safety is given to another cyclist, they will have the same options as the one who gave it to them. They will have the option of keeping it, destroying it, or giving it to someone else. The safety is transferable at most 5 times. A transfer counts as a pass from one cyclist to another. The transfer must be agreed upon by both cyclists as well. If it is transferred 5 times, the options will reduce to 2, keeping it, destroying it. Elimination Ceremony. Next is an elimination ceremony. Each cyclist will cast a vote to eliminate one player except the safety holder, if there is anyone that is holding safety. The one with the most votes will be eliminated. Though voting will be in secret, The quantity of votes each cyclist receives will be revealed. Note that cyclists can vote for themselves. And if a cyclist enters a vote with a negative step count, their own vote will be cast against them for that round, unless they are protected by safety. Transitioning cycles. After an elimination ceremony, the next cycle will begin with one less cyclist. All this will repeat until the final cycle, when only 2 are remaining. The 2 final cyclists are known as the finalists. However many steps each cyclist has ending a cycle will transfer over to the next one, unless they are eliminated. Now, if a cyclist starts a cycle in the negatives, all they can do is move 1, 2, or 3 spaces to get into the positives. A cyclist is not allowed to move spaces that push them down into the negatives. The final cycle. For the final cycle, only one will reach space 30. Once a finalist does, the cycle will conclude, and the finalist with the most steps will win the game. Stealing steps. When a cyclist lands on space 12, space 18, and space 24, they have the option of whether to steal 5 steps from any one cyclist's step count, and adding that amount to their own step count. Note that a cyclist cannot be stolen from if they have less than 5 steps. Tie-breaking vote. Before a cycle begins, a space is randomized from 11 to 25 for the tie-breaking vote using a randomizer. Space 12, space 18, and space 24 are omitted. All the cyclists will know right then what space number it is. Whoever lands on that space will have the option of purchasing this vote for 10 positive steps. It is available until a cyclist buys it. If there is a tied vote in a cycle, the one with this purchased power must choose who of the tied cyclists with the highest number of votes will be eliminated. This vote will only be good for the cycle in which it is bought in. If the holder of this vote is protected by safety, they are not allowed to use it. This power is non-transferable. Every cycle will have this tie-breaking vote, except the final, sudden death, and suffice cycles. If the tie-breaking vote is not purchased in the cycle it is in, or the holder is protected by safety, it dies before the next cycle begins. And in the event of a tie, it will go to a list randomizer among the tied cyclist with the highest number of votes. Whoever appears at the bottom of the list will be the one eliminated. Note that a cyclist caught in a tie still has the responsibility to use the tie-breaking vote if they have it. And yes, if they choose to do so, they may eliminate themselves since they are caught in the tie. Sudden death cycle. If both finalists tie in steps at the end of the final cycle, a sudden death cycle will commence. Instead of a 30-space cycle, it will be a 15-space one. The 6 basic moves and the ability to steal on space 12 will be the only options still in play. Both finalists' step counts will transfer over. Only one finalist will reach space 15. After that, the cycle will conclude, and the one with the most steps will win the game. If there is still a tie after the sudden death cycle, the finalist who reached space 15 in that said cycle will earn an extra step, crowning them the winner. Quitting. Ejections. If a cyclist quits or is ejected before 2 players reach space 30 in a round, the cyclists still in the game will immediately be added to a new turn order draw. When it is a player's turn, They must count how many spaces they have left to space 30. Whatever that number comes out to be, that will be the number of steps they can add to or subtract from their own step count. They can also choose to not affect their step count. So, if a player is on space 27, they must choose to add 3 steps, subtract 3 steps, or not affect their step count. This is the only other case where a cyclist can drop into the negative numbers. This is a suffice cycle. After every cyclist has taken 1 turn, the cycle will end. No elimination ceremony will occur, and instead, the next cycle will immediately begin. If a cyclist quits or is ejected after 2 players reach space 30 in a round, the next cycle will immediately begin, as a suffice cycle is not necessary in this case. And if auction bids were officially shown before the quit or ejection, those bids will still be deducted from the bidders like normal. And whatever was officially declared before the quit or ejection will still go through. A cyclist who quits or is ejected will leave the game with ejected steps, or symbolically known as eject symbol steps. If a cyclist quits or is ejected from the game during the final or sudden death cycle, a suffice cycle must still be played. For the final cycle, it is how many the cyclist has left to reaching space 30. For the sudden death cycle, it is how many the cyclist has left to reaching space 15. If more than 1 cyclist quits or is ejected from the game at once, enough consecutive suffice cycles must be played to catch up to the appropriate number of cyclists. A cyclist will be ejected if they violate the rules or code of conduct.